Hey guys, so I was planning to be doing a jersey unboxing video today where I open a jersey, have a stupid look on my face and be all happy. 'Cause, I hit 5,000 subs a while back and I decided I'll get a new jersey to celebrate. I asked you guys to vote on it. I picked the top voted jersey, paid for it, and yeah, it's gone missing. I checked the tracking today, and yeah, it's arrived in New Zealand, and then I transferred over because it's come from abroad, and then I switched through to the New Zealand tracking service, and it says it was delivered on Tuesday, but it ain't here. So Lord knows what's happened with that. Either it's gone to the wrong address, or I don't know. It says it was delivered at like 4 o'clock, and somebody's always home by 4 o'clock. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I've gone back to the company that sent it to ask if they can do anything to investigate. So we'll see what happens with that. But for the minute, no New Jersey. Hopefully they can push the courier company to have a look for it, or don't know. So we just have to wait and see what happens with that. So that's sad news for me today. But yeah, we'll see what happens. No New Jersey, but a bit of other news. It's more speculation stuff again. There's not any hard news. So there is a little bit around Michael Cheika, but I'll start with Steve Hansen. By the way, I put these Super Rugby jerseys up because they haven't been up for a while. So none of these are the new jerseys. These are all old ones, but yeah, there is a new jersey on the way. Stop thinking about the new jersey. Steve Hansen. The rumors are that this announcement he's going to make in December about his future is going to be him stepping up to some kind of director of rugby role. As far as I'm aware, it's not one that we really have at all in New Zealand rugby. I don't think any of the Super Rugby teams, it's generally just a head coach, and the head coach does all the overview, like the strategic stuff and the operational kind of coaching stuff all in one. I mean, I guess with support from other people around, but there's not a director of rugby as such. So that would be a new thing for New Zealand, as far as I'm aware, to have that kind of role established. I guess it would be a step up for him, having hands off all the coaching stuff, but being able to focus on kind of the wider picture while someone else gets down with the players and works out all the tactics and all that jazz. So that's the rumor. I actually saw the interview that the rumors come from. It's come from Alan Quinlan on Off the Ball. So he says that he talked, I think it was Justin Marshall and Jeff Wilson, and they said that from what they heard, whether or not these guys who work for Sky Sports now in New Zealand have got some kind of access to New Zealand rugby secrets, I guess we'll wait and see. If that did happen, if Steve went up to that director of rugby role, then Foster, I think, would be your man to come in as coach. So yeah, obviously all the rumors about Joe Schmidt coming to coach the All Blacks, those all blew up as he's decided to go and spend time with his family, which is fair enough. So whether these rumors come true or not, I guess remains to be seen. But that does seem to be the way that the All Blacks setup is run now. It's, promotion from within, and that would mean Foster is the next cab off the rank. Interestingly, though, they have brought up Crusaders coach Scott Robertson, because his contract's up at the end of the 2019 season, about his future. And he actually did say, I mean, it's not directly saying that he's interested, but he said the All Blacks job doesn't come up too often, blah, blah, blah. When it does, you have to have a very good look at it. Like I said, the decision from Steve will be a big part of it. So he's putting his cards on the table that he's essentially waiting to see what happens with other people before he decides what he's going to do. So I suppose if Steve decides to stay on as All Blacks coach, then he doesn't look at the All Blacks any kind of role. But if Steve does go to some kind of director of rugby and then there is a vacant position, it looks like he would apply. He's had amazing success with the Crusaders and then Canterbury before that, so you'd have to think he would be a pretty strong candidate, even if they are looking to promote Foster from within. You would assume it would still be, I guess, kind of an advertised role. I don't know if they would just make the appointment without advertising it. I mean, I think Ireland did that with Andy Farrell recently. They just appointed him, so don't know if there would be any competition for the role or not, but it is one to watch. Foster at the minute is not many people's preferred candidate, but it's hard to say because as the assistant, he doesn't really get much credit for anything that's going on. So it's hard to know what his role with the team, or how much influence he has over the team at the minute. So it's just one to wait and see. Yeah, I mean, as Scott Robertson's out there winning trophies, he's obviously, in the public's mind, a stronger candidate just because he is out there doing it. But like I said, the All Blacks seem to have a pretty set play with the way it's going. Time will tell. The next one, just a quick word on Michael Cheika. There's been rumours that seem to be gathering a little bit of steam about whether he is indeed, even though he's been kind of guaranteed up until this point, at least time up until the World Cup 2019. It seems like those kind of vote of confidence things from the board aren't worth all that much, which kind of often proves to be the case. It seems like Jake White, former Sharks and Brumbies and South Africa and loads of teams coach, apparently he reached out to the Aussie Rugby Union to kind of offer his services, and it's no secret that he wanted the job back when he was coaching the Brumbies, but they gave it to Ewan McKenzie. So I think he still kind of wouldn't mind taking over the Aussies for a year up until a World Cup. It'd kind of be a pretty good time to do it. Not that he'd have that much time to get the team playing the way he wants to play, and he does have a pretty distinctive style, like you saw that with the Brumbies when he was coaching there. But yeah, apparently that's all been cancelled because the media got wind of it. So there was going to be a conversation between Jake White and the Aussie Rugby Union, but apparently that's all been cancelled because the media got wind of it. So they're not going to go ahead with it. But there's also talk of what's his name, Johnson, the director of rugby for Scotland, that he might be either able to take over as coach or be appointed as director of rugby for Australia. Now, whether that happens over Cheika's head, which would be an interesting one, or whether they wait until Scott Johnson, that's the name, Scott Johnson, he's director of rugby for Scotland at the minute, so whether they would put him in above Cheika, which I don't know how that would sit with Cheika, or whether they wait until Cheika goes and then they put him in as director of rugby and then maybe Larkham or somebody else takes over as coach. That seems to be what's being bandied about at the moment. It seems like Raylene Castle is pretty keen on a director of rugby, but again, this is all just rumoured stuff. I think the board's meeting on the 10th of December, so more discussions about Cheika's future to come then. So December is going to be an interesting month for the futures of both Hansen and Cheika. I guess we will watch those ones with interest. And yes, I'll also watch out for my jersey with interest. I hope it shows up. Then I can show it off and say, hey, this is the one you guys voted for. But we will wait and see. As I said, I've reached out to the company I bought it from. So we'll see if they kind of tell me to bugger off and go talk to the courier company. Because it's not their fault. They shipped it to New Zealand fine. It's just kind of stuffed up on the final New Zealand leg of the journey. So whether they tell me to go talk to the courier company or whether they can talk to the courier company for me or what, we will see. Hopefully it gets sorted and then I can let you guys know which one it was. But yeah, what do you guys think about the news? How keen would you be to see Hansen sticking on as director of rugby with Foster or perhaps somebody else in charge? I like to think if Foster got the job, then at least Scott Robertson could go in as Foster's assistant, because then you still keep that coaching talent in New Zealand, because he does seem to be a pretty talented coach. And then maybe he's got one eye into being the coach after Foster is done. And as for Cheika, I mean, he did well with these guys. Got Australia to a World Cup final, but the wheels really seem to have fallen off. So whether a director of rugby is the answer at Australia and the Australian setup, I'm not sure, but I guess it's one that we will watch with interest. Anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.